Where's the cinnamon? Me need cinnamon. Hey, what is up, all you wonderful digeratis?
Here's the definition of digerati. People with expertise or professional involvement in information technology.
My name is Digital Hourglass, and I'm so sorry that I haven't been posting anything on my channel for a while. It's just because of one word to explain. A whole bunch of school stuff. So, a lot of you have been wondering how I make planets in Krita, so I'm here to show you how to do that. And I'm trying to think of a planet to show you. Let's think about this here. Come on, think. Oh, I got it. Jupiter. I'm just kidding, it's Saturn. I'm gonna show you how I draw Saturn. So here we go. This is my beautiful Krita that I love. I mean, not this. So here's the start area, and if you want to draw, you go to select new file, and you can select any predefined workspace or canvas or something. I'm just gonna do the default, which is 1920 by 1080 pixels, and you go ahead and click create. So I have my magical drawing pen. So the first thing I usually do is just get everything ready, and then I draw a circle with the base color of the planet that I want to draw. So we're drawing Saturn, so I'm doing a little beigey tan color. And I start out with a circle in the center, and I hold Control Shift and draw outwards. Then there's a perfect circle, and then draw that in. And then I select the brush tool over in this sidebar, and then I set the size to the biggest one, so that way, okay, that's a little too big. And that's perfect, I fill it in. And then over here again in the toolbar, there's this little stick star thing. You click on that, and then it selects any color that you put your little aimer thing on. I have no idea what it's called. Usually the next thing I do is look at the planet on the picture and see what kind of details it has. And if it's rocky, I usually get one of the brushes down here or on the top layer. But if it's a gas giant, I use this airbrush tool. If you can see it, it's right here, airbrush. And I usually get the colors that it has and just work off of it from there. So Saturn has a whole bunch of these nice burnt tan colors that I really like, and I just start piling it on until it looks how I think it looks good. I don't know of a better explanation. And then it has all these beautiful bands, and you can change the size up here in on the top bar thing, and you can drag it, and you can make it smaller or bigger depending on which way you drag it. And that's essential to your drawings. And then you can just keep on doodling and sketching out until you think it's good enough. But now here comes the two most important parts. Or if it's just a regular planet, then this is the most important part, the shading. So what I do is grab a really dark color that relates to the planet's colors, but not black, because no shadow is like completely black. There's still color in it. You can select it to as big as you want, depending on how faded you want it. And then you put the shadow on whichever way the lighting goes. So I'll just say this side, and then you do it gently and multiple times, so that way it looks smooth and blended together. No, what did I just do? There. You can use these scroll wheels to scroll up and down to help you draw and do stuff. So I'm just finishing up the shading. And you can add a tiny bit of light if you want, like that. And you can take a tiny bit of black and just like, if you're painting, you can just dab it or something. I know that meme is like dead, and I'm sorry. Make sure to put the shading all around it, all around the planet, so that way it looks like it's popping out and it actually looks round. So there I go. Here is Saturn, or the base of Saturn. So when I want to do the rings, you go over to the right, and there is this layers section, and you go down to a box with a plus sign in it, and that adds a new layer, so you don't mix up with the one you've been working on. So if you don't want to focus on the layer that you just did, and you want to focus on the rings, go over to the highlighted layer, and you can press this little eyeball, and it toggles on and off. So I selected the next layer, and here's how I do the rings. It's actually pretty easy, and you can repeat it as many times as you want. So you select different colors every time, and you get smaller and smaller with each color. And depending on how wide you want the rings to be, that's how much you shrink the size. So here I am. There's 3 layers, and as you can see, one is bigger than the other, and one is smaller. And you can keep on doing that for how many rings you want to draw. So you can keep on selecting new ones. And if you want to draw gaps in the rings, there's this eraser tool on the top bar, and you can select that, and then you can dot it on that, and then there's a hole. And maybe if you want, you can do more rings. And the final ring, I'm just gonna make it like this. There are my ring systems. Pretty generic, but mine on Krita has like a lot more layers, and this video would take a lot longer. So then what I do is highlight the other layer, like with the planet, and then you still select the ring layer, and you go over to the side, and you select this square with dots on the edges next to the 4 arrows. And then you can like scale it and do stuff with that, and that's what I usually do. Like, if you want to do this, you can, you hold down Control and go down and drag it around, and then it looks like it's from different perspectives. Actually, this ring is like a little too, I'm just gonna delete this part because these rings are gonna have to be a little, yeah. So just how I did that is go down here, and then these little select things, and then once you select what you want, you can do whatever you want with it. You can delete it by pressing the delete key. And wait. Oh, that's bad. So here are the rings. They're a little chopped off at the edges, but this is just an example. So you might be asking, oh no, what is this little thing right there? So what you want to do with that to make it look like it's going all the way around, you select it, and then you right click on it, and then you go down to cut selection to new layer. And then it makes a new layer, as you can see. And then you bring it down to the very back. And there you go. Look at that. That's a Saturn. depending on the tilt of your planet, you want to do the exact same thing with the rings. So you select the rings again, and with the select thing that I showed you earlier, it highlights it, and then you see the box, and when you go outside of the box, you see this little turn signal, and then you can drag outside of it, and then you can drag it however you want, like wee. And so this is how my planet goes. And you can even right click on it, and you can do mirror horizontal or vertical. And I'm going to do vertical because the stripes are going like up and to an angle. So I'm going to do that. And that looks good. And then I accidentally did that. So I just select the other one. And I just need to zoom in on this. And adjust. Alternatively, to make rings, you can go down and select the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27. The 28th tool that kind of looks like a mop, and if you highlight over it, it says bristles to flat rough, and you can use that. And depending on how thick you want your rings to be, you can set the size, like always, and you can customize the colors, and you can make it perfect or round and stuff, or you can do it like that. So I usually hold Control Shift and size it, and you can instantly have rings. So if you wanted to draw a whole bunch of planets or rings in a pinch, this could be your tool. So I hope this was helpful, and you can pretty much use these techniques with any planet you want to draw, and even you can make your own. So, sayonara, later. Oogie boogie, oogie boogie, boogie boogie.
Don't lean towards it, just stand where you are, see if it makes sense.
1, 2, 3, test, tacos, Twinkies, yay. Oogie boogie, oogie boogie, boogie boogie. Blah.